So now with the origin story of Leica behind us, let's get into some of the facts and the data about mitochondria. Ever since mitochondria were first named in 1898, they've been called the powerhouses of eukaryotic cells. The extra energy supplied by this tiny symbiont paved the way for cells to evolve into more complex forms. But recent research is revealing that they've been much more than energy producers. Recent studies show that mitochondria are astonishingly complex, actively influencing the cells they inhabit. They can even act like chemical conductors, switching genetic functions on and off inside the nucleus. At first, that might not sound like a mind-blowingly awesome superpower, but keep in mind, the nucleus is the command center of a eukaryotic cell, responsible for producing everything inside it. And then from there, it's not as big a leap as you'd think to a 2024 Nature article that takes an unexpected turn. These authors kick things off by invoking none other than the legendary sci-fi saga, Star Wars. They suggest that George Lucas, in crafting his universe, may have stumbled onto a biological truth long before science caught up, even though it was practically staring us in the face. For the rare few who've somehow missed the cultural juggernaut, this is the premise. In the Star Wars universe, all cells contain intelligent life forms called midichlorians. It's said that life cannot exist without midichlorians, which form symbiotic relationships with host cells. Within this fantastical story, the Force speaks through the midichlorians, which connect the living force with the cosmic force. Because the two are connected, they can communicate and bring peace to the galaxy.
Master, sir, I heard Yoda talking about midichlorians. I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
Midichlorians are a microscopic life form that resides within all living cells.
They live inside me.
Inside your cells, yes. And we are symbionts with them.
Symbionts?
Life forms living together for mutual advantage. Without the midichlorians, life could not exist, and we would have no knowledge of the Force. They continually speak to us, telling us the will of the Force. When you learn to quiet your mind, you'll hear them speaking to you.
I don't understand.
With time and training, Annie, you will.
Lucas's creation of the midichlorian-based universe is part of the artistic genius that made him a global icon. What most fans of the ever-expanding saga don't realize is that mitochondria themselves helped inspire his concept of midichlorians, the imagined life forms at the core of all existence. Traditionally, we've thought of mitochondria as little more than cellular power plants, but their most crucial role now appears tied to their ability to communicate, not just with the rest of the cell, but with other mitochondria across neighboring cells. This network relies on a rich chemical language that includes reactive oxygen species, small peptides, vesicle-mediated signals, and specialized molecules called mitokines, which are messengers that can coordinate activity between tissues and even influence whole body psychology. It's a system that's strikingly similar to Lucas's storied midichlorians. As of now, humanity's microbiologists, our masterless younglings, if you will, are still piecing together the origin story. Their curiosity for the nature of this reality has led them to study the hows and whens of mitochondrial signaling, mapping out how this vast network of communication evolved into the remarkable complexity we see today. In Star Wars terms, they're tracing the genesis and evolution of the Force itself. In recent years, scientists have begun unraveling the molecular nature of these mitochondria-centered signals. The questions of how and why mitochondria participate in both intra- and intercellular communication remain wide open, while ongoing research into their endosymbiotic origins continues to shed light on how this intricate network first evolved. With future discoveries and the aid of advanced AI, this research could one day provide a form of chemical Rosetta Stone for decoding their shared language. Imagine it, the ability to listen in on mitochondrial signals, both within and between cells, and truly understand their meaning. Such a breakthrough could transform healthcare and rewrite our understanding of life itself. If that ever becomes reality, perhaps every child will grow up dreaming of the day when they can tap into the mitochondrial force. But let's stretch this story a little further. Humans possess lungs for one reason above all: to serve our mitochondria. They demand oxygen, and so, from the moment we are born, we dedicate our lives to pumping it into their environment. As newborns, before we could form a single memory, we learned to breathe. And we are all clearly aware of the consequences when oxygen levels run low. What's striking now is the realization of who set that quota. It was them. We've been oxygen couriers for mitochondria since long before we even knew they existed. And though that reality may seem astonishing, it's just an appetizer. Because new evidence hints at something even more profound. That every organelle, in every cell, in every tissue of our bodies may have evolved under pressures to benefit mitochondria above all else. Even our brains, the seat of dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins, the very chemicals that define happiness, may be playing along in this network. It raises a wild question. Are we being chemically guided or nudged towards certain behaviors and emotions by the very organelles that make life possible? Whether it's playful speculation or a glimpse of reality, it underscores one thing. Mitochondria are not passive passengers in our biology. They are active participants, shaping the story of life from the inside out. Scientists are also beginning to see hints that mitochondria aren't just influencing us. They're responding to us. Studies have shown that stressful experiences leave a measurable imprint on a person's mitochondria, detectable even a day after the event. Similar patterns are showing up across the full range of emotional states, from joy to despair. It's early work, but the evidence points to a startling depth of connection between our mitochondria and our consciousness. These findings are reshaping how scholars see mitochondria. As a network, they appear to function like the information processors of our cells, relaying data within and between tissues. In that sense, the collective mitochondria in your body work a lot like the CPU in a computer, the central hub managing the flow of information and keeping the entire system online. Just as a computer's CPU can detect system failures and trigger pop-up alerts before things spiral out of control, our mitochondria may be doing something similar inside our bodies. If they are constantly exchanging status reports on the health of our cells and organs, then the question becomes, what if we could intercept those messages and translate them? And that's the question pulling so many eyes toward this research. If we could learn to read what our mitochondria are saying, we might be able to give them exactly what they need in real time, creating an optimized environment, moment by moment. It's a tantalizing possibility, and one that edges us closer to understanding the quiet conversation between these ancient symbionts and the lives they sustain. Current hypotheses predict that unlocking mitochondrial signaling could lead to measurable improvements in health and longer lifespans. But these lines of experimentations are still in their infancies. And here's a question that pushes things further. Could we, in a way straight out of Star Wars, actually learn to manipulate them? The idea isn't pure science fiction. Early work in mitochondrial optogenetics and metabolic reprogramming is already showing that we can influence these organelles' behavior with targeted chemical and light-based signals. Ancestral mitochondria once chemically hacked their way into a host to secure their place in evolution. Perhaps one day we'll discover how to chemically hack into their vast communication networks ourselves. If you're interested in the nature of reality, then make sure you click the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all the future uploads. And if you appreciated diving into the rock-solid evidence today, please also hit that like button.